Today we're going to go over the basics of loops in Rust. Loops allow us to rerun certain parts of code repeatedly. We can use them to specify how many times we need to repeat the defined steps. Without loops, our code executes the tasks we defined, but then comes to an end. Loops are helpful for keeping our program running until we need it to end. So let's start with a simple loop. This will run forever unless we write break. So let's see that. So now that we want it to stop, let's put a break statement. So here, let's look at while. It continues until a condition fails. So here, let's define an incrementer I. We'll set this to 0 initially. Now let's put the condition to be that the loop will continue so long as the incrementer is less than 10. And let's print out the value of I. Every time we reach the end of the loop, let's increase I by 1. Now a helpful keyword here is continue, which we can use to skip certain areas. So here, let's adjust the loop to skip every even number. We can calculate the even numbers by seeing if the iterator modulo 2 is 0. Now we can also nest our loops. Here's an example. So consider that we have two dogs, and one of them is sneezing, and the other is running around in circles. So here, let's write out this scenario in code. We'll put the while loop for the dog running around with I as the incrementer, and we'll put another while loop with the dog sneezing with J as the incrementer. I've added a sleep here to slow down the code enough for us to play them side by side. The last loop is a for loop, which iterates over a data structure. We'll discuss data structures more later on, but just know that we're storing a series of numbers here, and we'll increment over the array like so. So one thing to note is that it is better to write your incrementer as II instead of just I, because if you control F through the code in search of I, the entire code base will light up. So it looks like I put a colon instead of a semicolon, so let's fix that. And compiling and running, we see that we get the average, which is 3.5. Lastly, I want to leave you with this meme. So programmer's wife asks of him, "While you're out, buy some milk," and he never comes back. Always remember to properly terminate your loops.